But let's do this. Let me see if I can pull up this. Let's talk about what I'll tell you what really scares me, man.
What, not being able to say I'm proud to be an American anymore?
It's not about that.
It feels like it.
I mean, there right now, yeah. What did you post? You posted something about Trump and then someone called you a Nazi?
I straight up said I'm proud to be an American.
That's right.
Tweet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Send tweet.
Nazi.
Oh my.
It's like, are you kidding me? Because I'm proud of where I live. Because I'm proud of my country. Because we went from having slavery to getting rid of it.
Well, hold on. Slavery was a global institution. It still is.
That's a great point, Tim.
And
not only did we beat it, we're in the forefront of showing how to change things.
And we weren't the first.
Okay.
And we're not going to be
second?
the last. No, I think we're actually way behind most countries.
Really? I thought we were second to England.
The UK abolished it first.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, we abolished it through a war, that we won, actually. The Union won. We're the Union. We're the good guys.
Yep.
The bad guys lost.
Yes.
And in other parts of the world, it still exists.
Right.
That's true.
But here's the point I'm bringing up. Yes, you can't even say you're proud to be American. Right now, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti bans 4th of July fireworks displays, prohibits gatherings with people you don't live with, puts hard pause on movie theater reopenings. Now, there was a question about, is he banning fireworks because of the potential for fires?
That's what I thought.
But it sounds like what they're saying is don't go out and gather with people because of COVID. This period will be our second big test. It is now time for a pause. We simply cannot risk people's lives.
It's ridiculous.
He then announced, along with beach closures, 4th of July firework displays would be prohibited in the hope of keeping Angelenos from gathering in groups. Boom.
They don't care at all.
What did Muriel Bowser say in D.C.? Stay home on the 4th of July.
Yep.
What did she say a week or so before?
We
March.
have to protest.
She didn't say anything. She was literally marching with the protesters.
Yep, exactly.
So I'll tell you what scares me. It's not that people aren't allowed to be proud to be American anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That freaks me out for sure.
Definitely.
You know what really scares me? When you get a regular American who doesn't read the news, doesn't care to read the news, and all they're thinking is, man, this 4th is going to be awesome, man. I haven't seen Jimmy. How long has it been, Jimmy? I haven't seen you in 3 years, man. Mm-hmm. And now Jimmy is coming down, and Rick and Dale and Harry, and we're going to get together, crack some beers, cook up some brats by the lake, go fishing. The kids are going to be there. We're going to have the dogs. It's going to be awesome. Then you got younger people who are like, oh, cool, we're going to go out and we're going to have fireworks. You got older people who are like, yeah, I remember back when we used to have the fireworks celebration down by the river, and now all gone.
Yep.
It's not just about being American. It's about people wanting to be with the ones they love on a special time of year where they get to, it's summer.
Yep.
They get to have burgers with the people they care about. They get to laugh, love, live. And now the mayor and across this country are saying, you cannot have a good time with those you care about, but we will absolutely march in your faces as your businesses rot to the ground and are burned by rioters. We will smile.
We'll shoot at you.
Yep.
Seriously.
The protesters are shooting at people. The people are just going about their day. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, are you driving this way? Boom. We're shooting you now.
And then what's the response from the government?
How dare that person drive
protesters.
through?
Yes, the media.
Peaceful
Mm-hmm.
protesters.
Peaceful protesters.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was the BBC. They said 27 officers injured in mostly peaceful protests.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
So this freaks me out.
The media,
What
man.
will the reaction be of regular Americans who are sick and tired of being stepped on with jackboots?
Yep.
These governors who are enacting unconstitutional orders, the police who violate the Constitution with a smile on their face,
Not all of them.
mostly in bigger cities. Smaller town cops seem to be doing all right.
Yep.
But the bigger cities, they don't care. They're just like, governor said you're not allowed to have a constitution, so you're under arrest.
No constitution
Don't care.
for you.
Don't care. And I'm defensive of the police right now, in as it pertains to defund the police. But look, man, I think one of the reasons they're losing a lot of support is because when the governor said, "Hey, the Constitution is over," the cops were just like, "You got it. Happy to accept that paycheck." Yeah. So yes, right now, check this out. We've got LA saying we cannot risk people's lives. We get stories like this. 3 in 4 say attending 4th of July celebrations is risky, says poll.
My goodness.
This makes me question what we're hearing in the media. Here's my question. Have Americans given up? Have they lost their sense of nation? Do they no longer care about what America is, what it stands for?
There's definitely them out there. There's definitely Americans that have no idea what America actually is.
Yeah.
They're spoiled, entitled, and they're clueless
Comfortable.
and ignorant.
Yeah.
Well, so this is the big question. Is the majority of this country still proud to be an American? Even only a little bit?
I think that is a true statement. This is something that I've been. This is the reason I've been saying the things I've been saying over the past few months, because I believe that. I believe the majority are proud to be Americans. There's plenty of people who have just recently come to America, like over the past 20 years, that are like, you have no idea what I went through to even be here.
Yeah.
To have the little job that I have, that I get minimum wage. That job is amazing. And I love my rights that I have here, that I had none of where I came from. And it's like, yes, all it shows to me is these people are ignorant. They have no idea what they really have.
So why are all these governors and mayors banning the 4th of July?
This right here.
Money.
This is why.
Yeah.
Money. Because they're getting paid by something, somewhere, somebody's agenda to undermine America. America is a big thorn in the New World Order, the whole like trying to redo the whole globe essentially under a regime. China's probably wants us to kill ourselves.
I think it's a bit too much.
It's
for
kind
my
of
taste.
happening. Yeah, sure, that was a leap, but it's like,
Globalists.
but you ask
You
me,
need to deepen your voice a
what
little
is
bit.
the reason they're doing it? And it's like, why would they? Why
think
would they want to undermine America? Probably because they're getting
think China
paid by
could
somebody
incentivize
who
them.
doesn't
Yeah.
want
I think-
America to exist anymore.
I think it's simpler than that. I think if they weren't pathetic, spineless little weasels, they'd ban Black Lives Matter protests too.
They won't.
The only reason they're not doing it is because these people went around smashing windows and burning buildings to the ground.
Okay.
And so it's like I said, what we're seeing is morality government. It's morality policing. When they say it's easier just to give the protesters what they want and strip the rights of other people than to deal with the mob. And that's what it is. So they're sitting there, they're looking at a mob throwing Molotov cocktails,
Yep.
and people like us who are just in our home complaining. And
Yep.
they're like, well, these guys obey the law, so I don't got to worry about them. These guys are burning everything down. How can we placate them? Oh, just give them what they want. You got it. And
Yep.
so they do. And that's what's scaring me, because you're going to see the breaking point for regular Americans when they're like, no,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
That's what I've been saying. There's going to be a point where a lot of Americans are like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to go open my gun locker. And now I'm going to go out and actually exercise my rights. Let them try to come on my
man.
property.
4th of July.
Everyone's talking about this Seattle couple. Memes are flying off the
St. Louis.
Oh,
St.
is
Louis,
yeah,
yeah.
excuse me, St. Louis. They're flying off the shelves. All the memes. They're amazing memes, by the way.
Saving private
Good work,
property.
Amazing
That's the
memes.
best one.
Seriously, the meme factories are running.
Woo.
They never quit. COVID
Yeah.
didn't stop them.
That's right.
But I mean, they were coming onto private property. They walked out to protect themselves. If they didn't have those guns and they were standing there like, get out of here, they would have been attacked. They were on private property. It's like they had every right to stand there. And I'm like, you get on Facebook and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is this crap I'm seeing? Like everyone's just ridiculing. It's like a cesspool of anti-Trump, anything that goes against the narrative that. I mean,
And that's
but we
why
know
your
about
video got deleted.
Project Veritas. It's like Facebook
Yeah.
is clearly biased, deleting everything that they can get their hands on that is pro-Trump or not even pro-Trump, anti what they're pushing.
I think it's
scary, yo.
it's I jokingly say the Democrats want Trump to win, but it really does feel like it.
It feels
it's
like they
know,
don't even care about Trump. They want America to just burn. That's what it feels like.
The joke I'm making is, how could you fail? Like a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yep.
But Democrats have been wrong literally everything they've done. The only conclusion I can come to is that it's on purpose.
You
Yeah.
need the Trump bump.
Like, wow, are you really just that bad at what you do? That's impossible. You'd eventually get something right,
You would think.
but they don't.
You're right.
It's like, what has the riots accomplished? And they supported them and then banned the 4th of July. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
You think-
And then the Democrats' tweet that was deleted about Mount
Fourth of
Rushmore,
July.
Ooh.
like calling.
Now,
did you bring
I-
this? Do we have this up? Can we?
I don't know. I don't think I do actually.
Oh man.
But
We did talk about it earlier.
we did. But here's what I got to say. I need to issue a correction to Mr. Dan Crenshaw.
Oh yeah.
Yes, a correction. See, Dan tweeted out the image of, for those unfamiliar, he's the Republican congressman from Texas. He tweeted out an image of the tweet and said they were calling Mount Rushmore racist. That is not true.
Ooh.
They were calling the rally he was having racist at Mount Rushmore. And
on July 4th.
the rally was the 4th of July celebrations.
Right.
The point is, they were saying celebrating the 4th of July it glorifies white supremacy, and he was doing it at Mount Rushmore. So they weren't necessarily,
It's not
I get
really
it.
better.
They're disparaging Mount Rushmore. No,
Yeah,
it's
man.
substantially worse.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awful.
It's one thing if you're like,
It is.
It's one thing if they said,
Significantly.
we respect your right to celebrate independence, but doing it here is, offensive to some communities. I'd still
Blah, blah.
cringe at that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they were straight up like, this rally Trump is having, which is a 4th of July celebration, glorifies white supremacy.
Whoa.
They think it. They believe it. That's what they
Wow.
think.
They really do.
The mask slipped.
Yes,
my
it
Yep,
did.
there it is. Beneath the thin veneer of a smiling pro-America social justice activist is a lunatic who wants to burn this country to the ground.
Yep.
Not every single Democrat, obviously.
Of course.
But there are enough of them within this group, and there's no leadership. So Nancy Pelosi, what does she do? She gets on bent knee.
Literally.
And swears fealty to the fringe ideology.
Yep.
And then she can't even stand up, and someone has
Wearing
to
a
come in.
kente cloth.
Yeah, the wrong kente cloth.
Which was worn by slave traders.
Yep.
Yeah.
A very powerful slave trading empire. These people
Yikes.
are lunatics.
Yep.
And
It's
that-
like
and
they're
that-
brazenly showing it off too. Like they don't care. The Democratic Party was the racist party.
How could they have been so wrong?
Who's
Again.
who's that former Klansman who was kissing Hillary Clinton, that famous photo?
Oh, Robert Byrd?
Is that his name?
Yeah, it's his name.
He's always been a Democrat, right?
I believe.
That's
Let
the
me look it
funniest
up.
thing.
Let me double check that.
So it's like he's a Klan member.
Yeah.
And then apparently he has like a moment of like revelation, and he's still a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And so people show this photo of the guy like with Hillary, and they're laughing and smiling together. And it's like, what makes you think this guy changed when he's still with the same party, doing the same thing? And I want to make sure I make it clear. The complaints the activists have about police, about politicians, are all in democratically controlled areas. They're not complaining about Republicans.
You're
yeah, Byrd's a
absolutely right.
Democrat.
Has he always been a
Yeah,
Democrat?
I believe so. Yeah. Awkward.
And not only that, like the Republicans are trying to pass police reform laws.
They blocked it.
And who blocked it?
The Democrats.
Yeah, right.
The Democrats.
And
of
they
course.
called Tim. They insulted Tim Scott
Tim
along with
Scott,
it.
yeah.
Wow, man. I was.
They called him a token.
Yeah.
They called it a token bill or
Yes.
whatever, and he got really offended by
Oh.
that.
It's insane.
And man, dude, that I can't stand these people, man.
yeah, Rand Paul, he put a bill forward to stop no-knock raids.
Mm.
And it's like, good. That's what we need to
Such a good
stop
thing,
that.
yeah.
You know, it's like, what is going on? Like, how is this? How are you not? Why are you blocking these things?
I was in Portland.
They're trying to
and
keep it around.
I was in Portland, and there was like a big rally of mostly like right wing groups. You had Patriot Prayer, you had Proud Boys. It's a very typical thing.
Yeah.
And one of the Proud Boys was a black man.
Okay.
So you know what Antifa started doing?
What?
They started yelling as many racial slurs as they
Yep.
could.
Wow.
And I was standing there, and this dude went off.
Good.
And he's wearing a vest, and he is like, I think he was a veteran, and he's like very much in shape. The police separated the groups, and so all the Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer on one side, all Antifa on the other side, and the Antifa people start yelling hardcore racial slurs.
Wow.
I was like, I couldn't believe what I was hearing,
Hard
man. I
R.
couldn't believe it. And so this dude, one of the Proud Boys, he gets super angry, and he goes to cross the street where the police have separated everybody, and the other guys grabbed him. And I'm looking at these Proud Boys, and they're holding him back, and they're looking him in the eyes and saying, "You are my brother, man. Like, we're here with you. You are one of us. Don't listen to what these people are saying. They're trying to make you angry, so you go over there and fight them." But
Yep.
and they were saying things like, "We're here with you. We're all equal. You're one of us. Ignore what they're saying." And I'm sitting here like, none of these people on the right were saying racial slurs. Not a single one.
All right.
And all these Antifa people, man, it was crazy what they were
Firing.
saying.
Wow.
Because they use
Listen.
emotions. That's their
Because
fuel.
they're racists.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Look,
Emotional
you can,
and racist.
You can look this up. There was an ICE protest in, I believe it was Portland, and there was a black cop, and they are yelling crazy racial slurs. They are saying, like, you name the racial slur, they are saying it.
Oh, found it.
You found it.
Yeah, it's from 2018.
I'm not going to repeat what they were saying. So they did say a couple of the hard slurs, but they also used terms associated with, like, I'm not going to say what they are, referencing black people who are servants, essentially.
Okay.
Like,
We were traitors, right?
no, like, I'm not going to say it, but just trust me. There's like 12, probably 20 different terms, and they're all just talking and saying things, and they're doing a certain kind of accent.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
man, I have seen some stuff from these people.
It's messed up.
Now, look, man, I've encountered my share of backwater white yokel racists. Like I told the story last week about being in I think I was in Dallas, and I had an Uber driver who was overtly racist.
Right.
And I started getting angry because he was saying he was very, very stupid, and then he shut up. I've also experienced, like, when I briefly lived in Virginia, some serious racism from older generations. But the funny thing about these people is they know to keep their mouths shut. You know what I mean? Like, they understand what's socially acceptable, and they may be bigots, but they'll stop.
Okay.
So I can tell them straight up, hey, don't talk like that. I'm not interested in hearing that. You can speak like that. You want to speak to somebody else, fine, but don't bring it where I'm at. But you look at Antifa, they claim to be fighting racism, then come out in the streets and scream racial slurs at people.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
How do you square that?
Look at the video of that we talked about this 18-year-old girl getting arrested by and she's crying and she's hyperventilating, and they're like, she needs her dialysis, which is ridiculous.
Give me a
But they start yelling racial slurs, and the black cop walks up.
It's messed up.
You see it happen. Look, man.
It's like, aren't they out for Black Lives Matter? That's
see-
right, right?
Yeah, you see that video Trump
Right.
tweeted out where the guy in the golf cart, raises his fist and yells something pretty dumb. I'm not going to repeat it.
And horrible.
And it seemed like he was trying to be ironic,
Right.
but I'm not.
Smart.
But it was a moronic thing.
Yeah, he
to
was
do, no
like,
matter
yeah,
what.
whatever.
And it was stupid. It was stupid.
Yeah. It's
And the
true.
media went nuts. The media was like,
Pearl clutching ensued.
bro. You know how many videos I can find right now of leftists screaming racial slurs, and they never bring it up in the news?
Or how about Joe Biden? His racial slurs that he's said over the years. Like, I've seen some stuff about what he's saying. It's like, that dude's racist.
Yeah,
Clearly.
to be fair, a lot
And
of,
not only is he racist, his family had slaves.
Literally.
Why
owned
aren't they
slaves.
freaking out and tearing down his...
I don't
to
know.
be fair though,
Legacy?
to be
I
fair,
don't know. He
a
doesn't
lot,
have a statue.
a lot of the actual progressives call him out for these things.
Okay.
It's the establishment that won't do it.
Yeah.
So you'll find them actually saying things like, "Why would I support Biden? Biden's racist," right? Mm-hmm. Which brings me to an interesting thought I had. So I was talking. I've been bouncing these ideas around with a couple people. I know in the political world, and I was like, "What do you think would happen? Like, do you think what do you think the possibility is that Trump only gets 40% of the popular vote, but still wins?" Because progressive Democrats don't vote for Biden and vote for a third party.
Yep.
So let's say, Trump barely gets enough electoral votes to win, barely. And his in the popular vote, 40%. So everyone's outraged. But Joe Biden only gets 36.
Right.
And then some third party gets,
Joe Jorgensen.
gets 14 or whatever, gets the remaining.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. Maybe Bernie Sanders, write-ins. And I'm thinking this because
He's still on the ballot, right? I think he is.
No, I don't know about that.
I thought he was.
But on the primary ballots.
Yeah,
not-
maybe. Oh, okay.
But the
yeah,
reason
maybe
I
that's
was
it.
thinking about this is that when Trump issued this press release showing Joe Biden's enthusiasm, in Alaska, he got 55% of the Democratic primary vote, and he's the only one running.
What?
Wow.
How does that
55
work?
because other people were still on, and
Oh,
so
right.
people were like, I don't care if they
Oh,
quit. I'm going to
yeah.
vote for him anyway.
Right.
So
Just not
all
Joe.
you need is 10% of the Democratic base to be like, we want Bernie, and we're voting for Bernie no matter what.
Yeah.
And then Biden doesn't, Trump doesn't get the majority. Think about the insanity that would ensue if Trump got imagine this. Trump gets 35% of the popular vote.
Okay.
But Biden and Bernie split it evenly and come under at like 30% each.
Oh, man.
And then you got third parties sprinkled in and everywhere else. People would lose their minds. It would be absolutely nuts. I wonder what the possibility that maybe it's true that Trump's base right now is only 35%,
I don't even believe
but
that.
it's the plurality of voters.
Yeah.
So like it's not so much about who gets the most, who gets the majority. It's about who gets the most. So if you have too many candidates who are in the race, Trump could win with a small minority, unless of course he doesn't get 270 electoral votes. Then everything just becomes chaos. That's another potential for civil war. Nobody gets 270, and then it's just everybody's freaking out and screaming at each other.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know what, man? I'll tell you what. It's going to be the most exciting November of my life. It's going to be fun. We got to order a bunch of pizzas.
Probably
We
the
got
same.
like a big old
Same for
Yeah.
me. I'm gonna be sitting here with you.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
probably
be
gonna be
chilling.
talking
Oh, it's
about
gonna
it
be so
we're
fun.
gonna be hopefully in the in somewhere new with
in a new area.
in a new area
We'll
with
still
new
be
projects and new
In Tim's proximity, I hope.
yeah.
That'll be nice.
Well, we'll be in a similar space, and we'll see what happens in November. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.